So you have a bender ball or a small Pilates ball and you want to learn some new tricks with it? My name is Mariah. I am a certified personal trainer, Pilates and yoga instructor, and a barre and ballotone master trainer. And I have a super fun, total body, fairly advanced workout for you today, utilizing just the bender ball. If you like free yoga, Pilates, and barre workout videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I bring them to you every single week. Now let's get started. We're going to start our warm-up with some simple leg lifts, standing up tall, drawing belly in as we alternate legs. Good. So we're just tapping the shins with the ball. If you find that you can't quite tap the shins without rounding forward, then you're just going to tap a few inches above each knee. Good. Now when you're ready, let's add a little rotation. So tapping to the outside of the opposite shin. Arms stay long, chest stays open. It's your abdominals that are pulling the leg up. For 4, 3, 2. Last one each side. Stepping out to the left, we're going to take a lateral lunge, swinging that circle overhead, and then giant sweep switching arms as we take that lateral lunge to the other side. So we'll keep that circle going as we lunge side to side. Working some frontal plane of motion, getting that heart rate spiked right off the bat. It's going to be a fun, sweaty workout today. Whew, feeling good. Good, making sure that you can still see the front of your shin as you lean towards that lateral lunge. Good. And let's step feet together. We're now going to take it into a curtsy lunge, adding a wood chopper. So you're going to step right foot behind left, and then as you come to reach it up, we're going to take a nice side stretch. Good. Now the ball does not have to come all the way down to the ground, but if you have that range of motion, you're certainly welcome to. You're going to kind of slow it down for the side stretch at the top. Working the body in so many planes of motion right now at once, all 3 of them, and then some. Good. Make sure you're breathing here. We're lengthening the body as we warm it up. For 3, 2, here's 1. We'll take those feet parallel and we'll get ready to switch to the other side. Good. Really reach for that stretch on the way up. Just twisting to your range of motion. Exhaling as you rise. Inhale as you chop that wood. Whew! Starting off with a bang here. Let's go. 3, 2. Here's 1. Feet come parallel. We're going to step that right foot back into our calf lengthening so that back leg stays super straight. Hinging forward, making sure we stay flat in the spine. Abs are pulled in. I'm going to take the palms together and we're going to bend those hands back towards the back of your head for our skull crushers as you send that heel behind you. And then back heel lifts as you send that ball forward. Good. The more that you squeeze into that ball, the more we'll be warming up and toning the backs of the arms, those triceps. Elbows stay still in relationship to the head. Good. So it's just a bend. We're not actually moving those elbows forward and backward. Yes. Relax those shoulders if they've hunched up towards the ears. For 3. Here's 2. 1 big step in. We'll see how the other side feels. Try to make sure that all 10 toes are facing forward. That back leg is super straight and we're lifting and lowering from that back ankle joint. And of course, those triceps are getting some love too as we draw that ball in towards the head. Yes. Trying to keep everything open in the shoulders. There's a lot going on up in the shoulder girdle. We're going to try to send those shoulders away from the ears. The lower that you take your torso to the ground, as long as those abs are pulled in and the back is long, the more you're going to be working into the seat, into the booty. Here's 3, Here's 2. Here's 1. All right, step it in. You might want to watch this one first. We're going to take some single leg squats. As we press that ball in, we're rotating towards the knee that's lifted. Take it back down, over the other side. Yes. So this is definitely a balance challenge for sure. Don't worry so much about how low you go into this. I'd rather you be careful that you can still see your toes on that standing leg so that we have some integrity with the form here. We're just warming up our brains now, folks. Yes. Of course, the more that you press into that bender ball, the more engagement you're going to get in that chest. Exhaling as you twist, inhaling as you return. Taking it side to side. We'll find just a few more. And let's return feet to the ground. From here, we're going to step out wide. So we're in a second position from ballet. Our heels are wide, our toes are wider. Do make sure you have a pretty wide little stance here. I would rather you step wider than bend your knees really deeply because I want those knees to be happy. All right, we're going to have a little fun. We're going to throw that ball down as we plie, catch it on the way up. Good. So try to find a little bit of a groove here. This is a light ball, so it pops back up pretty quickly. So these may be a little bit faster than your normal plies, but that's okay. We're still in our warm-up where we're trying to get the heart rate nice and toasty so that we can have longer, more elastic tissues in our muscles. The right way we're going to get a really amazing range of motion and more benefit, better effectiveness from our workout. And hey, this is just fun too, isn't it? Good. When's the last time you threw a ball? Yeah, really throw it down. And here's 4, 3, 2. All right, we're going to turn up that throttle. Jumping jacks are next. We're going to send the ball to the opposite hand each time we jump. If you don't love jumping, if your joints aren't super happy with this, then you can just alternate taking a little leg swing out to the side, opposite hand to opposite side. Yes. Come on, we can do this. We're going to feel so good after today's workout. Let's go for 15 more seconds. Yes. Whew. Yeah, feeling those endorphins. Just turn on all your happy switches. For 2, 1, awesome job. We have made it through the warm-up. And we're going to get set up now for a single leg squat. Now this time we're going to add something a little bit different. So with that single leg squat, we're going to hinge forward quite a bit. Belly's hugged in, so I've got a nice flat back. That ball is going to tuck behind my free leg. So I'm holding it at a 90-degree angle. So we're almost in a modified deadlift. Now I can have my fingertips next to a couch or a counter for balance if I need to, or a bar. And then as I come up into standing, I'm drawing that knee into my chest, and it's my abdominals that are getting me there. All right, now that you've seen that, let's see if we can find a little rhythm here. So of course, the further down that you squat, the further forward that you hinge, and the higher you take that knee from the standing position, the more intensity you will find. Good. You can give that ball a little bit more of a squeeze for a little extra hammy action of that free leg. Whoo, yes. Heart rate's getting in on the action as well. It's a standing balance challenge for sure. I can't even count how many good things we're doing for our body right now. I've lost track. Let's find 3, 2. All right, it gets more fun from here. We're going to pause hinging forward. Give me a little half range. So it's halfway down, all the way up. Halfway down, all the way up. If you wanted to make this more challenging, you could take the bottom half of that squat. Yes, so we're just steady pressure on the ball of that back leg. Make sure you can still see the toes of that standing leg though. See if your belly is starting to droop towards that quad. You want to make sure you're pulling belly away from the standing leg. For 3, here's 2. 1, pause here. We're gonna do 1 inch up, 1 inch down. Now, as you do this, could you squeeze that knee in, in, in. 4, 3, 2. We're gonna take it to a shift, taking the leg with the ball over to the standing leg. You're just gonna cross it to the outside of the opposite calf, and then we'll come back to that starting point. Cross and lift, cross. So we're straightening and bending the standing leg every time. You got it. We're maintaining that shift if we can. For 3, here's 2. 1, do you have a little bit left in you? We're taking it for a little fire hydrant. So if at any point you're feeling like you're not wanting to stay here, you could come up to a standing position and still get some great side seat work. But we're going to see how it feels to hold that squat at the bottom and then move into those fire hydrants. Give me a little squeeze at the top. Squeeze at the top. Connect those knees. Yes, you got it. Whoo! Now remember, standing up straight is an option. A good one, I might add. And then we're going to take it into some hip circles. 1 direction, just 3 more this way. Yep. And then we'll take it to the opposite direction. How ready are we to be done with this side? Okay, yes. So let's give ourselves a little standing pigeon stretch before we take it over to the other side. So obviously it's that standing leg that we want to work out. So we take that ankle over to the opposite knee. Whew, maybe a little dynamic movement here since it's been stuck in that one position for the better part of 3 minutes. And then we'll take it over to the other side. So we're getting set up. We take that leg behind the ball behind the leg. We're starting with a single leg squat. Remember, the more forward you hinge, the more intense it's going to be, but we want to make sure we're pacing ourselves for what's still to come. Drawing that knee in, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those abdominals as you take the knee in towards chest. Yep. And then making sure every time we hinge forward that we're still sending the bottom back behind us so we can see the toes of that standing leg. You got it. So good. Also note that your hips are square to the ground. There's going to be that temptation, especially the longer that we do this, for that outside hip to kind of lift open. Let's see if we can send it straight forward. Yes. We're looking for 4 more full range. I know you have it in you, and I know that you can continue with what we still have to look forward to. Last one here. We're going for half range. And remember, we're giving a steady pressure of the ball into that back hamstring. Whew, now don't let those hips get cockeyed here. We want to square off those hips if we've lost that. Now, could you give me 1 inch pulses? And as you do that, squeeze that ball in. So it's up and in, up and in, up and in. You got it. We're looking for 5, 4, 3, 2, getting ready for that shift. So we cross that leg behind, come back up. Now remember, you can always come all the way up to standing if returning to that shift is starting to make you feel like you're losing the integrity of your alignment. It's better to have good movement than showy movement or big movement, yeah? So good. So we're working in that rotation now, adding a little bit of transverse plane of motion. 3, here's 2, 1. Now, fire hydrants are next. So you can stay low or you can come all the way up to standing. Give me a little squeeze of that ball at the top. Little extra squeeze here. Yes. Whew. Golly gee. You're doing amazing. So even if you come in and out of this, if you take a little micro break, I promise you, your body is still getting an amazing benefit. Hip circles are next, just 4 in one direction. Take it the opposite way. Yowza, yowza. All right, let's stretch out that piriformis. Take a little pigeon stretch. And plies are next. So just like we did in our warm-up, I want you to make sure that you're stepping nice and wide on your plie. You could even be doing this on a mat. And I'd rather you step out a little bit wider and bend the knees less than bend the knees more and have a narrow stance, just because that could put too much strain on your knees. Okay, so enough talk. Let's get moving again. We're doing a plie, and as we do that, we're reaching elbow towards knee for a side bend. We come up tall as we come towards the other side. Now notice that my knees are equally bending. The tailbone is going straight down towards the ground. There's a little temptation, since we're throwing in this side bend, to kind of want to straighten the opposite leg and lean with your knees towards one side. But this is actually a plie, not a side lunge. So we're trying to keep both knees equally bent. Tailbone is center, and then we're reaching up and over with that elbow like we are tracing a rainbow above the leg. So nice. Whew. Let's try one more in each direction. And then we're going to find our half range of motion with a plie, and with our upper body, we're going to squeeze up all in front of the chest and just do a little rotation towards the left, left, left. Now your half squat, your half plie can be either on the bottom or the top half. It's a small range of motion, about 6 to 8 inches. You're exhaling as you squeeze towards the knee. 3, here's 2. Now we got to keep that half range going, but we got to even out those rotations. So taking it to the right, exhale as you twist, inhale as you release towards center. This is so nice. How about 4? Squeeze that ball in to get the chest in on the action. 2, 1, pulses are next. The torso is going to come center, arms come in front of the chest for a chest press, and it's 1 inch up, 1 inch down with the legs, and we're throwing a little chest press in there. Yes. Make sure the backs of the knees are aiming towards the wall behind you, so we stay externally rotated in those hips. All right, we have a super fun static hold next. This is what it's going to look like. The legs are going to be frozen at the basement of your plie. We're going to hold that pose and then throw down that ball, catch the ball. Throw it down, catch it. Good. We're just playing a little game of catch with ourselves to distract ourselves from the fact that we are still in a plie. We're looking for 10 more seconds. I know you can do it. Really ground down through those heels to keep that form. For 2, 1, come all the way up. You're going to take the right foot behind you now in a lunge, and we're going to be in a lunge with a hinge. So my torso is forward, just like we did for that calf lengthening series in our warm-up. Belly is pulled in, and the further forward that I hinge, the more I'm going to kind of feel this in that front glute. The back knee bends as I have tapped the ball towards my forward shin, and then everything comes up except I stay at a diagonal with the torso. So the back knee is bending and straightening. Yes. I don't care how low you go with that back knee. I want your knees to be happy with the situation. So nice. Whew. So of course, the further forward that I'm hinging, the more I'll feel this in the front glute. All right, we're going to add a half range next. Could you just pause with your arms in front of you? This is going to make it a little bit more challenging, and the legs are doing that half lift. Whew, yes. Burning. We're definitely working some muscular endurance today, which gives our body great results. All right, we're going to have a little bit of fun mixing in some yoga in with our bar workout today. So we're going to take a half moon balance. So we're going to take that same hand down towards the front knee, balancing on that ball if you can. Now you could always practice this in front of a wall, where you're stacking your bottom and your shoulders against a wall. Yowza. Woo, and then adding that ball underneath. I mean, you see mine, it's not super pretty. It just adds a whole new dimension to it. Shooting energy out through that top heel, drawing belly in, shoulders are stacked. Maybe. And then, stay with me, we're gonna rotate. So take the opposite hand to the ball, that belly comes down, so hips are squared. You can do it. If you come out, you fall out, you probably will, just like I'm probably gonna keep falling out. Then just come right back into it. We're challenging our balance like crazy. Now let's add a little bit of a reach of that knee to the outside of the standing calf. Yes. Ooh la la. Just 4. Here's 3, 2, last one. Oh my goodness gracious. And then we're just going to step back into a plank. We're going to throw a little sun salutation in it since we're doing a nod to the yoga. So lowering, shooting those elbows down behind you, hips and belly touch at the same time, rolling onto the tops of the feet for a nice upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, we're going to reach those hips high. That should feel super nice to stretch out the backs of those hamstrings and calves. And then we'll step through. So we're now leaving the left foot behind, right foot steps up. And we're going to add that forward hinge. So reaching forward, grab that ball. And as we bend that back knee, it's a little tap of the forward shin, coming up at the diagonal with the torso. So my arms are staying long the whole time. If the front of the shin is not yet available to you, no worries. I don't care how low you reach. I care more that you're staying firm in those abdominals and flat in the back. So nice. We have about 4 more of these before we add that half range. Use your exhale to lift you, inhale to lower. Here's 1. And then it's a half range with the back leg. We're pausing with the arms. Maybe squeezing that ball in, release the shoulders away from the ears, draw the abs in a little tighter towards the back. Keep breathing though, that's important. Yes. For 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to shift that weight forward. We're coming into a half moon first. Then we'll add that rotation. Maybe your hand comes onto the ball. If the ball is just completely throwing you off and frustrating you, you can just step it to the side and just come on down to the arm. That's plenty of balance already. We made an already advanced yoga pose even more advanced by adding the bender ball, which is what makes that bender ball so much fun. Shooting energy out through that flexed foot on top, reaching fingertips to sky. And then we're going to find that rotated half moon. So taking belly button down towards the floor. Ooh, handing off to the opposite hand. Yeah. Just have fun with this. Don't take it too seriously. And then we'll take that top knee or to the standing outside calf. Take it back up to that rotated half moon. You got it. Awesome. Here's 3, 2, here's 1, and let's come all the way up. And then let's go ahead and take another sun salutation. So you're going to step that foot behind you, find your plank, firm up the belly, spin those elbows behind you as you lower down slowly. Hips and ribs hit the belly, or hips and ribs hit the ground at the same time. Coming up into our upward facing dog, shining that heart forward on the inhale. Exhale, tuck those toes, send the hips high into an upside down letter V or a downward facing dog. All right. Perfect. And from here, I'm going to have you walk the legs in until you're in a nice forward fold. We're going to reach hold of that ball. Hopefully it didn't run away too far that you have to chase it. The arms are going to be on the ball on the ground. Now, if this is too much, you can absolutely take that ball up onto a countertop or the ledge of a couch, the arm of a couch, and extend for a flat back fold over with biceps framing the ears. But for the full version, we're going to see how it feels to take those hands on the ball on the ground. If you need a little bit of a kickstand, you can slide the fingertips onto the ground. But for the full black diamond challenge, we would see if we could keep the entire surface of the hand on the ball. We're squaring off those hips. This is super important. Belly in towards spine, so we want to avoid arching in that back. Drawing belly in, nice flat back. We're going to extend that right leg behind us, foot is flexed, and then tap the ground. So we're only coming up as high with that back leg as we can without hiking up the hip. We could, of course, get the leg a lot higher if we hiked the hip, but that would take all the work out of the standing side of the booty, and we're really more concerned about sculpting the booty than about getting the leg up towards the ceiling. Agreed? Yes, we're going for 4 more full range. Here's 3. Really squeeze the belly in as you lift the leg, please. Last one. Now, could you lower halfway down, all the way up? Halfway down, all the way up. Drop that hip a little bit lower. You got it. Here's 3, 2. We're going to pause at the top. Hold, hold, hold. Give me 5 deep breaths here. Just legs staying still, abs squeezing in. Come on, you can breathe. I know you can do that. Here's 2 more deep breaths. And then maybe sigh out on the next one. Big step in. Sweep arms overhead. Maybe take that ball with you. And then to come down to find the other side. So we always try to do roughly on one side what we did on the other. We're squaring those hips off. Remember, fingertips can always come down if you're starting to feel yourself tremor a little bit and fall over. And then we're going to flex that foot and lift, tap, lift, tap. Your exhales will lift you. Your inhales will tap the ground. Getting nice and long in the spine. Adding this instability of the bender ball is making our stabilizing muscles kick in like crazy. So we're learning how to really catch ourselves, how to develop better balance. This is so good for preventing injury and having a nice, balanced, symmetrical body. Here's 3 more full range. Please drop the hip a little lower. Last one, and then we're going to take it down only halfway. I know. Back up to the top. These won't last forever. Whew. Keep that steady flow of breath. 3, 2. We're going to pause at the highest point. Drop the hip. Deepen into your inhales and exhales. This is the time that I know they want to become shallow, but you're going to give me some nice long breaths. That standing leg is firm. 2 more deep breaths here, please. Awesome. And you're going to step it in. Sweep the arms with the ball overhead. And I've got some good news. We are done with our standing section. So grab a mat, and we're going to come on to the ground for some core work. Now, I want you to make sure that you have a wall behind you. So if you need to move, if you're watching this on your phone or maybe a laptop or iPad, you might want to go ahead and move this so that you can see what we're doing. We're going to be taking our feet against the wall, and that ball is going to be right up against that wall. So ideally, we're going to keep the heels away from the wall, but the wall is going to prevent the ball from rolling away. So we're going to do some push-ups with our feet on the ball. Now, again, this is a pretty advanced practice today, so if you are so not feeling this, you are welcome to do some push-ups on the ground on your knees. You could always take that ball between the thighs instead and get a little inner thigh action if you want to keep playing with that ball. Otherwise, we're going to see how it feels. We're going to do 3 sets of just 6 push-ups because these are super intense. So I'm pressing up in that space between the shoulder blades. Elbows come out to the side. My hips stay lifted. Ooh, and then press it up on the exhale. Good. 5 more. Strong exhale lifts you. If you roll off, just come right back on. Good. We're taking 3 more. 2. Here's 1. Awesome. Just pause here. Maybe come down to the knees. Whew. Catch your breath. We have 2 more sets. You're doing amazing. All right. Here we go. Another round of 6. Now, anytime you want to take your feet to either side of the ball, if that's feeling a little nicer, go right ahead, or you can do these on your knees. Keep it going. Here's 2. 1. Awesome. Here's our second break. We've got 1 more set to go. All right. We can do this. Firm up that belly. Make sure those hips aren't dragging below the ribs, but the belly button is lifting up. You got this. This is so good for you. I'm so proud of you. 2 more. Last one, and come all the way down. That is so amazing. We're going to work our way into all fours on that mat, and we're going to take the ball between the thighs. So my toes are tucked. I want to make sure that my hands are right underneath my shoulders, and my knees are completely underneath my hips. I'm not in a plank, I'm in all fours. So from here, I'm going to tuck the tail just a tiny, tiny little bit so that I'm pulling belly up towards spine. And then as I lift the knees, I feel my belly lifting even higher. It's just a little lift, only about 3 inches. And then with an exhale, I'm going to squeeze that ball 3 times. Tap the ground, lift, squeeze. Tap, lift, keep going. Now you only lift about 3 inches. The higher that you lift your knees, actually the easier it becomes. So we want to try to keep that challenge going by working against gravity. Do that 2 more times. Last one. Fantastic. We're moving into a side plank. So if it's okay to be on your hands, then we're going to spread the fingers nice and wide. You can either keep that knee propped underneath you like a kickstand, or you could come with full extended legs, either one foot in front of the other, or for more balanced challenge, have those feet stacked parallel. Ball comes up to the ceiling, and then we're going to reach through underneath, thread the needle. Inhale, open. Exhale, twist. Grab 3 more, please. These are slow and controlled. The emphasis is on that twist. Last one. Awesome. And we're just going to come down onto the other side, getting set up for side plank with a thread the needle on the other side. You got it. So inhale, open. Remember, you can leave a knee down on the ground if you prefer. Really reach it through and then reach it up. 2 more, please. Last one, super controlled. Good job. We're going to lie down onto our back, and then we're going to do a ball handoff. Now, my one rule of thumb, I want you to pinky promise me that you're only going to take the legs as low as you can go without allowing the back to arch. So you want to think about, if the arch of your back is a little drawbridge, you're closing that drawbridge, you're lowering that drawbridge so that nothing can pass through. That's going to ensure the work stays in your abdominals. So with that being said, the ball is going to come between my ankles or maybe between my knees. And then I'm going to lift and reach for that ball, opening it up. I'm going to reach the ball between or behind my head, lowering legs at about a 45-degree angle, and then come back up and reach hold of the ball with my ankles, take it the other direction. Now, you could certainly peel your head, neck, and shoulders off to increase the crunch here. I prefer not to. That bothers my neck a little bit, and most of us already spend quite a bit of time with our neck in a forward position. So some of us don't need to be lifting our head, neck, and shoulders. I find I can get plenty of abdominal work by focusing on lengthening against gravity on the opening than by worrying about trying to get a bigger crunch. Whew. The deeper that you breathe, the more of an abdominal workout you'll get as well. Fun fact. We're going to do 1 more, please. So good. And then we'll lengthen the front of the body by bridging. So the ball's going to come between the legs. Knees are bent, soles of the feet on the ground. We're going to lift those hips nice and high to the sky. We're going to give me a little squeeze of that ball. So squeeze it in. Pause here. Keeping the knees where they are, you're going to extend that right shin just at a diagonal so that the knees stay parallel. Set it back down onto the ground. Opposite shin straightens out. We're going to do that 2 more times each direction. Last one. Good. And then gently return the hips down onto the ground. We're going to take a nice happy baby here, setting tailbone down to the ground as though your tailbone was filled with concrete. Maybe opening those knees out to the sides of the shoulders. You're gonna grab hold of either the hamstrings, the ankles, or even the tops of the feet, if you can reach the soles of the feet without letting that bottom peel up off the mat. Get a little bit of mid-back strength to send that back low. And then finding a nice release in those hips, decompressing the spine. We worked so hard today. And then we'll extend those legs open in a nice straddle. We're going to take the right leg long, take a nice spinal twist with the left knee, maybe looking out in the opposite direction. And then let's come find our way back towards center. We'll take that twist in the opposite direction. Counter stretch of your neck. Good. And then we're going to do one more thing here. We're going to take that ball and just place it behind the low back. So we lift up one more time into a bridge, but this time we just allow the weight of the hips to sink into that ball, maybe gently shifting side to side. You can take your arms out wide so that you feel super just secure here and balanced, and then just gently massaging, so maybe forming little circles with your hips. Maybe dipping hips side to side. And then gently picking those hips up, rolling down one vertebrae at a time. And let's lift up into a seated position. I am so proud of you for making it through. This was definitely even a little bit more advanced than I realized. So thank you for hanging in with me. If you made it all the way to the end, could you drop a little comment below and say, nailed it, because I would love to give you a virtual high five. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and share this video. It would mean the world to me. Don't forget, I also offer Barre certifications. You can see where those certifications are by going to wealthyboss.com/teach Barre. Don't forget to subscribe for more workouts every single week, and you can sign up for my insider tips and extras at wealthyboss.com/workouts. Bye for now.